Hey guys, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your life or what's going on in your dating life and everything, your relationships, and ever thought, why does everything always end the same? You know what I mean? Why do I keep attracting the same kind of women? Why do I always seem like I'm the one investing more? Why is it that, no matter how much I work, no matter how much I put in, that it just doesn't click and things just don't work out? And guys, if you ask yourself that question and everything like that, guys, the good news is that you're not alone in all of this. But here's a key insight to everything. The problem isn't you, okay? The problem is actually it's a story that you're stuck in. See, what most guys don't understand is that most people are actually living in the same emotional plot line of their own story, the same character, the same thoughts, the same decisions, and unfortunately they're getting the same ending. But why is that? It's because you never stop to take a moment to actually edit your own script. You don't need to tear yourself down. You don't need to be somebody else. You just need to stop playing the role that no longer fits to who you're actually becoming. And that's what we're here to do today. We're here to help you guys out today. So guys, if you just hang in there, we're gonna give you a few points and a few ideas to make things easier for you so you can win in this game. Because a lot of guys are actually losing in the game. They just don't understand why. But the $1 million question is why do most men live in repeat? And the reason why most men live in repeat is not because they're lazy. It's not, come on man, move. Come on man, move. I gotta go there. He's taking 2 lanes up. My God, dude, come on. I'm sorry, man. The problem is I'm sorry, man. Guys just don't know how to follow directions. They like taking up 2 lanes. Anyway, the problem is, guys, it's not that you're lazy. The problem is that you're not trying. It's that you keep waking up inside of this loop that goes on and on the same way, giving you the same result and everything like that. And the problem is most guys just don't know how to escape it. It's like you meet somebody, you meet a woman, whether it's online or offline. I mean, you get excited, you give effort, and at that moment you kind of feel a hope, but then slowly something happens and things actually begin to shift. She starts to pull away, you then get confused. You chase, she disappears. And then for some reason you begin to wonder where you went wrong and you start to actually overthink things. And before you know it, when all of this, you're back where you started at square one. I say square one, guys. You know what I mean. Don't judge me. Golly, I know you're kind of judging me right now, but no, seriously though. The thing is that you begin after that point to tell yourself that, you know what, she didn't see my value. Maybe I was too nice. Maybe women don't like a guy like me. You know what I mean? But what you guys don't know, here's the thing that's happening. Okay, for most of you guys, you're not revealing the moments. What's happening is you are reliving the story that you keep telling yourself. And unless that story changes, guess what, guys? The ending will never change itself. And I think a lot of people don't know that, or a lot of people don't understand that. But how do you as a guy start to get out of this cycle that you want to be into? Well, first thing we have to do is we have to break the cycle. We have to stop identifying ourselves as a character in that story that we're in. And we've got to step out into the role of not the character, but the narrator of the story. You see, guys, the thing about the narrator of all the stories, the narrator actually has the power. The narrator gets to choose the scenes that matter. The narrator decides what to carry forward and what to leave behind. And where most guys go wrong is that they give that role of the narrator to somebody else. And let it be a past rejection or a past pain, a past heartbreak, a past a disappointment, or a narrative about a future that hasn't even happened yet. And what happens is that it's time for you guys to take a moment and take the pen back. And you're not here to replay all the disappointments in your head. You're here to craft a brand new reality. So let me ask you this question right here. And let's just be honest with ourselves, and let's be real, gentlemen. Because the more honest you are with yourself, the more real you are, the different things changes. Okay? See, the thing is that when is the last time you asked yourself that, you know what? Oh, excuse me, it's a bumpy road. When is the last time you asked yourself, it's time to stop playing games and it's time to start to be real? When is the last time you're going to take a moment and admit to yourself that, you know what, maybe it's time to stop being nice in these stories and things like that? Well, the thing is that we have to actually identify the things that actually hold us back to able to give us the strength to move forward. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, because even doing something like that, guys, can be a very, well, sorry for the bumps, it can be a very, very scary thing. And because a lot of guys don't find comfort, well, you find comfort in the old patterns, and because you find comfort in the old patterns, you choose to create the new patterns. And if you don't take a moment to get rid of what is old for something new, you're going to keep repeating the same story over and over and over again, trying to actually find a different result. And that's where so many young men go wrong in the game, because of the old comfort patterns. You see, the old comfort patterns is the thing that actually slows you down and holds you back. And what we always love to do, because we don't want to go into the unknown, we always look at what's familiar to us. And as long as you look at the familiar and you always look at what's familiar to you, you're going to always be the character versus the narrator. But guys, here's the truth. You were never meant to stay being the same character in the story, okay? You were never meant to keep playing the same guy who sits around and waits for life to choose him. You're not broken. The thing is that in all of this, you're actually evolving. Your evolution of who you are, one thought, one mind, one way, actually requires a revision of rewriting what it is you are to yourself. So here's the $1 million question. Well, Steve, if that's the case, what do I do next? Well, as a narrator of the story, the one who has all the power of the story, you got to get rid of the things that no longer serve you as a man. And what do I mean by that? Let me make sure I get over so I don't get hit. It's that we've got to stop using words like, I'm not attracted enough, I'm always in the friend zone, nobody can see my worth. And what you've got to do is you got to begin the process of actually changing the role of who you are and why you are, okay? That's what's going to change everything. What is very, very important in all of this, you've got to have an idea that I'm the guy that is going to stop and change the role. But what are the roles? The roles are: stop writing yourself as the emotional crutch. Stop writing yourself as a nice backup plan. Stop writing yourself as a standard, and be the main character with vision, with direction, and actually having a standard. You see, gentlemen, you have to be able to actually take a moment and narrate yourself with power, prestige, and understanding. And you need to begin to take a moment to actually lead your conversations. You get to choose who qualifies in your world, and you get to decide, and this is the beautiful thing, you get to decide when it comes to the story of who's the story based on. Is it based off of you? Is it based off your decisiveness? Is it based off your authenticity? Is it based off of your mindset? And when you can start doing that, everything in your world begins to change, and that's what's so important. You see, guys, you don't win by being liked, okay? You win by being valued in a woman's eyes. You don't win by repeating heartbreak. You win by creating momentum. You don't win by actually living a story that keeps the ending in what? Great disappointment. No, you don't win. You don't win that way. You actually win by becoming the narrator. And once you become the narrator, you'll have more understanding of understanding. And as the narrator, you have the right to pause the story. You have the right to cut out the things in the story you don't like. You have the right to create brand new chapters. And most importantly, you have the right to start all over from scratch if everything is not working the way you want it to work. You just, at the end of the day, guys, you just got to remember you're allowed to create a new book. You're allowed to write a whole different story. You're allowed to step in and stop repeating the same emotional loop and start building a life that actually reflects your value, your mindset, and your mentality. So all I'm saying to you, all you guys out there, take a moment, grab a pen, write something powerful, write something rare, and write something worth remembering. Because when you become the narrator of your story, you stop surviving in the story and you start authoring a person that's actually a legend.